Have you ever felt like you're stuck in overgiving in a relationship and it's hard for you to receive? Well, today we address this topic. Maybe this question you're asking yourself, why do I always feel like I'm giving more in relationships? I know for myself, in many of my previous relationships, I always felt like I was the one like holding the relationship, trying so hard. I was the one texting and planning on cute dates. When we had problems, I was the one wanting to fix them. I was the one wanting to go to coaching or therapy or just do something about it. I also often felt like I was the one initiating conversations and inviting more vulnerability and more expression, more communication. Like I was always there to listen to their problems and support their projects and really be a cheerleader. But I also feel like none of that was reciprocated. I always felt like I was always the one loving more, giving more, supporting more. Can you identify with that? Because I know for me, and probably for you if you're experiencing that or you experienced that in the past, there's this feeling of like, is there something wrong with me? Or is it just how relationships are supposed to be? The thing is, we end up feeling resentful and quite unfulfilled in our love life, but sometimes we just don't see what's happening, or we don't fully realize it, or we think it's going to change in the future. So we just keep rolling with it. But on the long term, you feel emotionally drained because you're carrying all this weight and this effort and like giving, and you don't feel like it's reciprocated and like you're able to receive. So I felt emotionally drained. I felt exhausted, and I felt like the relationship was one-sided and I just wanted more. And today, to be able to experience something different where I feel like we both love to give, we both receive, we're just very fulfilled in the relationship, I'm here to tell you that I have some good news. Because if you feel similar to how I used to feel in my previous relationships, and you always feel like you're giving more, and it doesn't have to be necessarily romantic relationships, it can be in friendships or even with like colleagues and stuff, like you can be the one that is always reaching out, always making that first move, always putting the effort in, and somehow you feel like, oh my God, it's so hard for me to receive, but I'm longing for it. The good news is that it has nothing to do with who gives more or how to get your partner to give you more. It's not about that. So that's a good news, right? Because then there is no more competition and you don't have to force and try to get your partner to do and to give as much as you do and to be more like you, okay? The truth is, it's really about self-esteem and our ability to receive. And the extra good news is that those two things are like two muscles that we can train, and they can become stronger and stronger and stronger. And with practice, we become much better at having a good self-esteem and learning how to receive. So instead of asking the question, why am I the one always giving? We should really shift the focus to two things. The first thing is giving from your heart, within your capacity. Let me explain. It's at the same time, you can respect and honor your desire to give love. If you're someone like me, I just love to love, and I love to be affectionate, and I love to give and to gift and to take care. And this is very genuine. This is like a real genuine desire to be in devotion in my relationships and in the giving. The thing here is to also simultaneously respect this aspect of me and respect my own needs. Respecting that I need to receive, that I need to also receive and have my needs and my wants and my desires fulfilled. The trick here is to be mindful of not giving in order to receive, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna give more so that I can receive more, and trying this trick and this almost, how do you call that in English? Transactional. That's what I was looking for. It's also not to give because of guilt or because we want to preserve the relationship. So we are scared and we're like, oh, I need to give more, I need to show up more, I need to be more present. But to actually give when it's the truest expression of your heart, your kind, generous heart that just wants to give. And to me, when I think about it, I feel like a little girl, like a child, and I feel so innocent in my desire to give. But also I know that I have to fill my own cup first. If I give from an empty cup, there is this neediness, there is this like, grasping for something. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain, but I'm sure you know the feeling. And when you fill your own cup first, when you feel that your needs are taken care of and you're respecting your heart and your capacity of giving, you're not over giving, then you're giving from a very empowered and beautiful, genuine space. So that was point number one. Point number two is practicing and expanding our capacity to receive. That is a much deeper subject on which I'm gonna probably create a ton of other videos. That is also at the core of my program, Soft and Surrendered. It's learning how to soften, to surrender, and learn how to receive. Receive your manifestations, receive love, receive attention. And one of the big thing in that is ask for what you want. And I know that can be a really tricky one for a lot of people. It was for me for a very long time. And then also allowing yourself to receive. So ask for what you want and allow yourself to receive it. When you stop doing everything and trying to be in control of everything, and you express your needs and your desires, and then you lean back and you savor receiving them, let me tell you, that's a game changer for all of your relationships. Remember that receiving is a skill. And a lot of us women, we're not really fluent in that skill, but at the same time, the thing that is magical about it is that it's in our essence. The feminine is really about receiving. We are the receiver. Even if you think, you know, I love to link everything to sacred sexuality. And when you think about the penis, the lingam being the penetrative force that gives, and we, the vagina, the yoni, is the receiving, you know, that's the one who receives. That illustrates just that feminine versus masculine forces, and the feminine is really connected to that ability. So we're deficient in that skill of receiving because of how society has been created. But in our essence, in our feminine truth, it's actually something that comes quite naturally. It's a bit of a paradox, isn't it? It's a superpower, but we have to practice it because we haven't been taught how to really practice it. At least I haven't, and I know so many other women that are in the same boat as me. So it needs to be practiced. I will soon create another video about how to answer what you want and how to practice that ability to receive. But in the meantime, I'm curious to know if you're a good giver and a bad receiver. That's how I used to feel. Like I was so good at giving, and it was so hard for me to receive help, compliments, love, like money, success, like everything. It was just so hard, and it's still something that I have to actively practice. Even though I've started this journey years ago, I even teach about it, talk about it. I have created online programs around it. Like it's still something that I need to practice and practice and practice. I believe practice makes the master. Practice makes the master. And so we get to practice that, but it's actually a fun practice because you're gonna meet your edge every time, and that's gonna be extremely freeing and liberating. Okay, so let me know in the comments, where are you with that? Does it come naturally for you to receive? Is it something that you need to practice? And I'm curious if this video was helpful at all, and if you want me to create some more, I'm happy to provide. You know how much I love to create those videos. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you very soon. Mwah.